of Our Lives, and he was stuck on, and they overlapped by half an hour. So we'd watch the first half hour of Days of Our Lives, and they went back and forth with General Hospital, and then so we spent an hour and a half, and then we finally got around to going in the music room and running over a photograph or or something that And here's the funniest story though. Where as you started, I said,
getting inspiration.
I said,
from
we're in
weird places.
So it's got like a music room. It's like a little library in that house, but it'd been like a music. It was drums in it and stereo and some vinyl and stuff. And I said, and books. And I said, well, where are your Beatle albums? I need to run over a little help from my friends. I want to make sure I have the changes right and something because I had never played it live, I'd only listened to it. And so, and he said, I don't have any Beatle albums. And I said, what do you mean you don't have any Beatle? You don't have any Beatle albums? And then he said, no. He said, I got some in England, but I don't have any here. And he said, I said, well, do you have any? He said, I don't have anything. He said, you know what? Go down to Tower and get them all. And so I get in my car and I drive down the hill, down Lower Canyon, and go to Tower Records in Sunset. And I went to the Beatles section, Meet the Beatles, blah, 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 blah. I had a stack this high. I got everything, all of his solo stuff, all the Beatles, right through Let It Be. Got everything.
Wonderful.
Walked up, plopped it on the counter. And the guy looked at me like, God, this got to be the biggest Beatle fan I've ever met. And I kept looking at this kid.
Or the newest Beatle fan.
And I looked at this kid and I thought, oh my God, if he had any idea who these were for, And I didn't tell him, I just paid for him and left. Brought them all up. He said, okay. Then I had something to work with, and I had to go through and write out chord charts and so forth. And we rehearsed, and then we started production and did that TV show Ringo, on NBC.
That wasn't Ringo 4, was it?
That was an album.
That was an album. There was a TV show. Okay.
It was just called Ringo.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a television special based on The Prince and the Pauper. It was Ringo and Ogner Ratz, which is Ringo Starr spelled backwards.
Right.
And he's a paper boy, Ogner Ratz is, and his father is Art Carney, and John Ritter is Ringo's manager, and who else is in it? And we got all these models that we auditioned. They were all like 6'2", because he's so little.
Right.
So he enters a place with all these gals, these beautiful gals. He looks like a house of Game of Thrones. And they're in the limo with him. He's sitting there, and they're almost hitting the roof.
Yeah.
And well, we auditioned all these girls. I mean, we must have had 100 and something of them come through, and we took them, had all their photographs. Okay, and we hired about a dozen of them. They were extras. For these particular scenes when he. This thing and for I'm the Greatest. He was singing that.
Yeah, which was a Lennon song.
Yeah. John wrote it for him.
John actually, there's a famous demo that he did. He actually recorded the song and with a lead vocal and gave it to Ringo and said, "Here, it's yours."
Yeah.
And there's a very famous outtake of John's lead vocal on it instead of Ringo's.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's basically the same arrangement and everything else.
I went with him we were in London and we flew to Amsterdam when he signed with Atlantic Records. Ahmed Erdogan came there. He signed for North America with Atlantic, and then we flew to Hamburg and he signed with Dutch Gramophone for the rest of the world. And that was a bleary-eyed trip. But we went to the Star Club, went to the Reeperbahn, went to the Star Club, and ran into Horst Flascher.
Oh my God!
And Astrid. We ran into her in a club. Yes,
fantastic.
Walked into a club, and
she was the photographer that they met in Hamburg when the Beatles went there the first time and met Astrid and her boyfriend. And Astrid was the one who came up with the Beatle haircut for those guys.
That's right.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so
and we took the famous pictures of the first pictures of the band in Hamburg.
In leather.
Yeah, in their leathers.
Yeah, so we walked in this club, he and I did, and we walked in, and I think Horst was with us as kind of like a bodyguard and guide, and we walked in, what's happening? What's a hot place? Where are they going? So he, oh, you got to go to the so-and-so. So it was a club all the swells are going to. And so we walked in the door, and I saw across the room, and it was real crowded, I saw this blonde gal jump to her feet and start running towards us. And I'd never met her before. And I said, here comes Astrid. And it was. I just knew it was her, you know. I said, here comes Astrid. He said, where? And I said, and she went, Rich, you know, like that. And they hadn't seen each other in years and years, you know. So it was kind of, we went, and he took me, and we went to all the clubs to where they first played the Kaiser Keller.
This is like 15 years later, you know, right? In the late
it
70s?
It was 76, so
yes.
no, it wasn't even 15. It
62
was 12.
to 76?
12.
Okay.
12, 76, wait a minute, oh, 76 to 66, yeah, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were first there in 61, he was there with Rory and the Hurricanes, and the Beatles were there at the same time, and then...
So much, I mean, the world shifted, the universe shifted in that 15-year period.
Yeah.
At least a couple times.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I played on. So we did that show, we pre-recorded all the songs, and then I was in charge of the live stuff. Jim Webb produced the pre-recorded stuff. We recut, I'm the Greatest. They're gonna, I forgot what else. I forgot all.
Act Naturally.
Yeah, Act Naturally, and a few other things that were all cut at United. And then...
Photograph, You're 16.
You're 16,
Yeah.
that because that's in the thing, yeah.
Right.
And it was a duet he did with Carrie Fisher, and then we played live at NBC in the soundstage, and I put the band together. And he said, so it was really the first all-star band ever.
Yeah.
You know? And so who should we get? And I said, well, we got Dean Murray on bass from Elton John's band, Ringo on drums, me on guitar, and he wanted Lon Van Eaton, who played with George on All Things Was Past and all that period. So he said he knew Lon, and said that, and Ringo had played on nearly all of that stuff with George. And so
I think Lon was on the Bangladesh album too.
Yes, Lon, and then we got Dr. John on piano.
Nice.
And then a horn section.
Cool house band. Now, who was in the horn section?
They were 18 horn players here, and I don't remember their names, unfortunately. But I said, who are the 18 horn guys? You know, like Memphis horns here, and I was given the names, and we called them. They put out. I didn't call them, the production company.
Gotcha.
They called, or Jim called them, or so forth. And
well,
so,
I want to flash back to Texas a little bit. You're a San Antonio guy, and you told me this great story about judging a chili contest for
armadillo race.
An
armadillo race.
You told me this great story about judging an armadillo race and for Lone Star in Texas, and Jerry Retzloff is involved in this story. So tell us that story.
But Jerry would come out here all the time on business for a Lone Star beer.
Jerry was the
head of promotion,
the sales director for Lone Star, based in Austin, Texas, during the 70s.
It was in San Antonio.
Well, he was based in Austin, but the brewery was in San Antonio.
Well, his offices were there at the brewery, and the saying, because I used to raid the gift shop,
okay.
You know, and take one of everything and go back to New York with it.
Oh yeah.
But his offices were there behind the Buckhorn Saloon, you know, in San Antonio. But he went back and forth between Austin and there.
Now, did you'd gone to high school with him?
Well, he said that, but we didn't go to high school together.
Or you were just contemporaries in San Antonio?
He's a couple of years older than me.
Oh, okay.
He's about 3 years older than me. But I knew him when I was in high school.
Okay.
And I don't know whether he went to Central Catholic or to Jefferson or what. I don't remember. But I know that he's friends with all these guys I know that went to Central Catholic, like Leroy Richter and Charles Scott and Rudy Garza, and they all these Catholic boys. Then they got to be high school, 10th grade. They didn't want to put up with the nuns beating them and shit anymore. So, excuse me. And so they went. A lot of them went to Robert E. Lee. Some of them went to Jefferson, you know. And that's what they did. But so Rhett's, I knew, and we had mutual friends, and I used to see him at places over, but we were not in the same high school. Now, I've heard him say that we went to high school together, but he's 3 years older than me.
Well, I guess
but,
stuff gets telescoped.
Absolutely, I mean, for goodness sakes,
Yeah.
it's been 60-something years,
Yeah,
know.
60 years.
Yeah. So Rhett's, he used to come out of business and this and that, and he was always after me. One of my biggest regrets is he wanted me to write a song commercial for Lone Star.
Yeah.
For
a radio spot.
Yeah, for a radio spot. He said, you can cut a full version of it, but I need a 1 minute version, and I need like a 59-second version and a 29-second version, with the fall off on it. And I said, okay. Then he would call and say, you haven't sent me that tape yet. When are you gonna? I told you we'll reimburse you. We'll take. I said, oh. Well, I never got around to it, and I regret that. I could have had, a bunch of those commercials in the '70s in Lone Star.
Yep.
So cut to, he calls me and said, Keith, I need your help. I will fly you out first class, and put you up. I said, well, I'll stay at my parents' house. He said, just fly me out. Need you to judge an armadillo race. I said, an armadillo race?
And this is now into the 70s.
Yeah, it's about 77.
Yeah, okay.
And I said, how do you do that? Armadillo race. And he said, anyway, it was held at the Hemisphere Arena.
Yeah.
Hemisphere Arena by the tower, and a thing in the street there. Had it all blocked off, and the Giesenslaw brothers from Austin were there playing. And the judges were supposed to be Willie, myself, Miss Texas, who was a San Antonio girl who had become Miss Texas and gone and didn't win Miss Universe or whatever. It was Miss America, Miss Universe. She was too hot to be Miss America.
Yeah.
It was because the other one, there's a little hotter bunch. The other was a kind of homespun,
Yeah.
So, and I think that was it. Well, Willie at the last minute, I don't know whether he couldn't get up and come across from his ranch, and it's only 80 miles, but that was hard. He didn't make it, so it was myself, Miss Texas, and I don't know, somebody else were the judges of this armadillo race. And the way they do it, they take the armadillos and they have like a big target. There's a center section here that's painted, and then there's a ring here, and then there's an outer ring like this, and it's measured off and painted perfectly. So they set the armadillos down in the middle of the ring, and then the owners back off and run like hell, and then try to coax them out. And the first one to actually leave the circle and get out, that's the winner. So it's not like pigs or something that actually run straight down a track. Armadillos don't do that. You can't get them they'll curl up in a ball or something. So usually that's give them a sniff of something to eat, and then run off on the thing and try to get them to run towards them, if they were familiar enough with their armadillo. Some of them had probably been captured the night before. So here's all these armadillos and so forth. And I'm there all afternoon all day in the boiling sun, and of course Rhett's has got the long necks are everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And the Giesenslaws are playing. There's a huge crowd because it's free.
Yeah. And it's one hell of an excuse for a party.
And of course there's wiener guys, in Texas, and you got everything's on a stick.
Yeah.
Catfish on a stick, and a corn dog on a stick, which was invented at the state fair, corn dog. They were selling those and Wurstbrat,
Yeah, the brats.
Bratfest. So that was it. So I got a free trip to home to visit family and so forth, and all the beer I could drink for holding up an armadillo and saying this is the winner. And I think I went to lunch the next day with Miss Texas, which was a bonus.
Oh, bonus! Very nice, very nice.
Bonus.
Now, I saw Waddy Wachtel at the Canyon Theater a couple of years ago. I think he was backing up George Thorogood or somebody. But he like was ripping on that white Les Paul of his.
I was there.
You were there?
Yeah, yeah.
How did I like not see you?
I was back in the dressing room with him and so forth. I came there.
I couldn't get
It
back
was
there.
it was for a disc jockey.
Yeah, it was
from public radio.
no, from KMET.
Yeah.
Oh God, Paraquat Kelly.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was a fundraiser for him, right?
Yeah.
And so all these people showed up, and so they ran through what they're gonna. And who was that? The guitar player. There was another guitar player who was kind of head of the band. He was. Who does he play with? He plays with. It wasn't Ronstadt. It was. He's somebody's guitar player. No, I was going to say. Yeah, I'm going blank, but Waddy knew him and so forth, and they worked out in the dressing room what they were going to do. And Thorogood was there and performed.
So well, let's take it.
But Waddy didn't play with Thorogood though.
No.
Thorogood played with just him and another guy.
Right.
And then the band. Then at the end, the band came on with Waddy and this other guy. That forgive me, I can't think of his name.
I'm seeing him. I have pictures of him, but I know
Had
you're talking about.
blonde hair, blondish hair.
Well, let's.
But they were great. Yeah.
We'll cut that. Let's just pick it up with how did you and Waddy Wachtel connect? And that's that relationship is like going on 15 plus years.
I